Hey everyone, this is Anna Finch from Finch Press Publishing. Now, this is just a quick check-in. I am currently on my fourth draft for Voiceless, which I have to add another 10 chapters or so and rewrite complete sections of the story, because due to feedback I got from one of my beta readers, I added a new part of the genre, so to do more romance in the story. So I've got to add a whole section on the relationship developing and adding all this stuff before going to another editor to do copy and line edits. So what I've found is going to a content editor was really helpful in picking out particular flaws or things that need to be worked on for the overall story and plot. Particularly, I hadn't realised I'd change tenses even within the same paragraph. I had originally written this as part of NANOWRIMO, so even though I had done 2 other drafts to fix grammar and editing, the editing software Grammarly didn't actually pick up everything. So it didn't pick up the change in tenses because the sentence was grammatically correct, just not in the right tense. And so now I have to go through page by page, line by line, checking the tense in each sentence in each page for every single chapter, which is a lot considering I originally started with about 230 pages, so about 70,000 words, and considering I've got to add about 10 chapters, completely change 6 that are still staying, to change the point of view, and to change the way, the style of those particular chapters is extremely difficult, and it's taking a lot longer than editing normally does. Normally, I'm able to edit. I was able to edit this entire manuscript from start to finish within 2 days, full grammar, story. This is including adding chapters as well. But because I have to go through each line and change the tense, now I know I'm going to miss some things, which is why I am going to be hiring a copy editor. Now, from my understanding, a copy editor is basically a person who goes through the story and checks for mistakes, inconsistencies, any repetition. Now, this is helpful especially if, for example, like me, you wrote your novel during NaNoWriMo, and if you've done NaNoWriMo before, then you know that it is hectic as hell to try and get 50,000 words done in a month. I was able to achieve that, past that, and I actually my goal wasn't to reach 50,000 words, it was to finish a full manuscript, so completely finish a novel, which, based on what I planned, would have been around 70,000 words. Now, didn't get that done in a month. I got it done probably by halfway through the second week of December, so just a bit over a month, so a week and a half over a month, which is still a very fast turnaround for a novel, at least for the first draft. But it meant that it had a lot of mistakes, and when I originally gave the manuscript that I printed out to my brother, there were quite a bit of mistakes, grammar-wise, especially. Especially considering I'm an English teacher. But when I reread it after my brother's notes, I fixed as many things as I could that I picked up. But because I started editing like 2 weeks after I actually finished the novel, it meant that the novel was still fresh in my head, so when I read through it, it still sounded as if, yep, it's pretty good. So I didn't pick up on things like grammar mistakes, not as many as I should have, and tenses completely flew over my head. I struggled to pick up changes in tense. Sometimes I picked it up, but most of the time I didn't. Even going through it 3 other times before giving it to a content editor, I still didn't pick it up because, not just in writing but in speech, I have a habit of changing tenses partway through speech, so changing between past and present. And when I wrote, it was following my thought process, so I would change tense halfway through. And now I only realise this because my content editor, Angela, who I found on Fiverr, actually said, you need to go through it, and because you've got a lot of tense issues, and she actually pointed it out on the manuscript in this one section how I changed tense like 3 times or 4 times within the one paragraph, going between past, present, and she had found a lot of those mistakes in the actual manuscript, which I didn't pick up on. And going through the manuscript now, line by line, I'm actually picking up a lot more mistakes. So I would need to, for copy editing and line editing, so copy editing for like inconsistencies with the story, any mistakes with like plot. So if I say a character has blonde hair in the beginning chapters, but I later say that they have black hair, that's an inconsistency they would pick up. So this is more for the story, and then I would have to do a line edit, which is more in-depth and more focused on the actual grammar, voice, syntax, punctuation, those sort of things, and they go line by line and edit it. So I'll most likely need multiple rounds of line editing. Depending on how it goes, I may use more than one line editor or more than one person, so I can get the freshest eyes on it, because like with anyone, if you read something enough, it'll be difficult to pick up any mistakes. So hopefully using multiple line editors will help. But besides that, the feedback I got from the actual story side was pretty positive about the characters, the overall plot. Just make it like the main thing is to flesh out my main character Mariah's love interest, aka the prince. Not that he's a prince in this story, because it's a more modern version of The Little Mermaid, with its own twists and similar themes to like The Giver by Lewis Lowry, and some elements from Handmaid's Tale. So overwhelmingly, it's pretty good. Just gotta fix those grammar mistakes, tenses especially, and adding those chapters about how Mariah's and Michael's relationship grows. So I typically don't like heavy romance stories, but hopefully it doesn't have that sort of feel to it. It's more of a cutesy sort of romance, because they generally don't have the relationship experience or connections with other people that would allow for the more complex romances, more of these slowly growing to care about each other. What else? Oh, but I also made a video at the start of the year about books that I wanted to read. That list has grown. Currently reading Woman in the Window, which I borrowed from the library. I'm only I only reached page 20 or so. It's a fairly big book, but I normally read a book that size in about an hour, but it's taking me forever to read through it because I've got editing to do. It's only just started to get a little bit interesting, but overall, so far, not enjoying it. It may get better by the end. I hope it does, but yeah. And I've only got, I think, 2 more books from that list that I need to read, but I've got a whole range of other ones that I'm going to be doing reviews on, including American Dirt. And as a Latina who has family in the US who went through similar situations, this should be pretty interesting. Anyway, I better get back to editing. If you like this video, give it a like, press the thumbs up button down below, and if you want to be notified of when I upload, hit the subscribe button. See ya.